Well, it has been a deadline day disaster. Yes, I'll repeat that for the cheapsies at the back. A deadline day disaster. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We are here reacting to what's been a very uneventful day, where we hoped for it to be an eventful day. It has been extremely uneventful for West Ham fans, as it is transfer deadline day. Mike, Gary, I mean, we just guessed it's like any other day.
Yeah, well, you remember what I said back in December, I think, Jake. Wait till the 31st. I wasn't joking. I just knew this was going to happen. I just absolutely knew it was going to happen. It's disappointing, mate. It's disappointing.
It is. Will there be any transfers? Probably not. Probably not is the answer to that. Paul says, ridiculous. Guys, get all of your comments into the live chat and your thoughts. We will make sure we read out the non-explicit ones. We don't want any anything too ballistic going on. But yeah, it's if you either laugh or you cry, don't you? Gary, how are you?
I'm all right, Jake. Thank you very much. I'm trying hard to be positive, but I'm finding it increasingly difficult as the day goes on, to be honest.
Yeah. You know what?
I find it incredible. This is the third window now. We've been looking for a striker. We haven't found one. I just don't understand the strategy. And I think somebody from the club needs to issue a statement to say what is going on, really. So I literally don't understand it. You hear we've got money. You hear we're looking around. But it's been over a year now looking for a striker. Surely we could find one. This guy in South America, apparently bid 50 million for last night. Why do it last night when he's in South America? I don't understand it. I don't run a football club, but I just don't understand it. It's beyond me. It's completely beyond me.
Yeah. I woke up this morning like a little kid on Christmas. I was like, here we go, right, let's get some solid things done. Let's get a transfer done by lunchtime. And oh, how wrong was I? I was, I put on Twitter this morning, transfer deadline day, get in, looking forward to this. And I had to go and backtrack it an hour ago. I don't like deadline day anymore. We've had an absolute disaster of a deadline day. We're going to go through individual players in a minute, but we've got to start with Jesse Lingard now, because I've got some things I need to get off of my chest, because for the Jesse Lingard transfer saga on its own, we don't blame Moyes, we don't blame Newman, we don't blame the board, we blame Manchester United's board for holding Jesse Lingard by blimmin' foot shackles. He's being held in a prison. He's being held in a prison at Manchester United. I think 20 years of service, I think somebody said today, to that football club. And the way they are treating him, not letting him go, which is what his wish is. We all believe that his wish is to leave Man United and go to West Ham. And for them to say, because they're a top 4 rival. Disgusted with Manchester United, Mike.
No loyalty in the game, mate. None at all. It's all about business, full stop. It's all about money. That bloke has put in, some hard yards for Man United over the years. He's worked hard. He deserves to be let go. But do you know what? I had this feeling because the Mason Greenwood effect, I think, is just made Man United think, oh, sugar. I think they were going to let him go. I think the manager said he can go. And obviously, Newcastle were probably offering more money than us. Newcastle obviously got more money than anyone, full stop. But he really wanted to come to West Ham, I think. And it's such a shame. I think the Greenwood thing just swung it, because he could be out for a very, very, very long time. It could be the end of his career if this happens. And I mean, it is serious. And United have just let Donny van de Beek go.
Yeah.
They've let him go to Everton because they probably don't see Everton as a threat to them. But now they're thinking, hang on a minute, squad, if we don't get someone in, our squad's going to be a bit thin, which is ridiculous, because it's not. Because you look what they got on their bench. I mean, they've got abundance of players that can play in that position. But hey, a couple of injuries, and I suppose they're thinking, Jesse a play,
I do see where you're coming from, just to touch on that Greenwood thing. But even if nothing would have came out about Greenwood, I don't think their position would have changed. And I had you on from Hammer's chat earlier on. And the thing that really really annoys me is the fact that we know, and a lot of West Ham sources have said that we know that Jesse Lingard wants to move to West Ham. We know he's got no intention of going to Newcastle. Fair play to the lad if he's got no intentions of going to Newcastle, because the money hasn't opened his eyes more, and he said, yeah, I'll go up there, because I believe Manchester United would have happily sold him to Newcastle. But now they won't sell him to us. Now, the way I'm looking at it now is that Gary, if next summer Man United come calling for Declan Rice, we say, no, we're not doing business with Manchester United because they are a top four rival. And we can say to Man United, if you want Declan Rice, pay us £250 million.
No, that's a good point, Jake. It's a very good point. I think, unfortunately for us, Manchester United are one of the few clubs in the world that can afford to pay Jesse's £100,000 a week, whatever he's on wages, and leave him in the stands, because it doesn't make any difference to them. And that's unfortunate for us. We can't afford to do that. Most other clubs can't afford to do that. I 100% agree with what you both said. That it's really unfortunate for Jesse. I think he wants to leave. He needs to play football. It's the World Cup year. And the way they treat him, I think, is personally disgusting. I think it's really... Look, the lad's been there since he's 8 years old. And he's going to leave there with really bitter feelings. You know, he's obviously wanted to leave. And I think it's just disgraceful. But, you know, if I was a Manchester United board member, as Mike said, they've lost Greenwood. Pogba's injured. They've got rid of Van der Beek. You know, they're probably thinking, let's keep him. I think they want Newcastle to pay 14 million or something ridiculous.
Yeah, basically, I think Newcastle wanted a loan, and then Man United said if Man United came back with that and said yes, that's fine, but if Newcastle stay up, we want you to pay. So they wanted Newcastle to pay Man United a £12 million loan bonus if Newcastle stayed up.
Just greed, isn't it? Pure greed. I feel Jesse's going to leave with a really bad taste in his mouth, which is unfortunate. The kid, he's a Manchester boy, he's supported the club all his life. And he's not going to play in the next 6 months. The World Cup's going to pass him by, and he'll probably never get another chance. So I feel it's terrible for him. It's terrible for him. It really is.
Yeah. He won't do this because this is his boyhood club. But if it wasn't his boyhood club and he'd been there a couple of years, let's say, a player like this would go, you know what, if you don't want if you're going to hold me a beer here by the shackles, I will refuse to come to training. I will refuse to come to games. But he won't do that because it's his boyhood club, Manchester United. But if it was in different circumstances, 110% would a player like him that wasn't their boyhood club and the circumstances that he's in would say, you know what, if you're going to hold me here by the shackles, I just won't turn up. End of story. You can pay me £100,000 a week and I just won't turn up because I want to leave. But let's take some of your comments then. Paul makes a very good comment here. He says, would rather the club just come out and say we don't buy anybody rather than put us through this every time. We've heard this for months that yes, David Moyes has got the money. We're looking at players and this and that. And I mean, I think we all should have took more notice to David Moyes' press conference after the Manchester United game. The tone that he hit in that press conference, talking about transfers after, really, when I look back at it now, should have spoke more volumes than it did at the time. And it was a really despondent, not distraught, but just deflated manager. We've thrown away our best chance of Champions League football. Rice and Burn will move on in the summer. Lingard heartbreaking. What is Man United thinking? Honestly, Man United, very badly run club could cost Moyes' job. I don't think it will cost Moyes' job, but it would be interesting to see whether David Moyes did have the money there. Mike, I'll come to you. Whether the £40-50 million or whatever was there for David Moyes to spend willingly, or whether there was restrictions from Sullivan, and whether those bids for the likes of Rafinha and Calvin Phillips and that Darwin Núñez last night, whether that was David Moyes who puts them bids in, or whether it was David Sullivan.
We won't know, will we? Really, it might come out in the future, but I just think all of it is such a shame because we moved away from Upton Park. We've gone over there. They promised, they're going to play for European football and we're going to reach the Champions League. I mean, they've had a really good chance of doing all that. And the feeling about the board was beginning to dampen down a little bit. The atmosphere in the stadium was getting better. I mean, they were on the cusp of it. They were right on the cusp of it. And all they had to do was sort this out early January. Get a striker on board, get a centre half to make up for the fact we've lost a good player and he's going to be out for the rest of the season, plays in that position. If they'd have made 2 good signings in January, which I'm sure they could have done, things could have, it could have dampened and it could have got even better for them. I mean, and people might have started believing, but now people are going to, I mean, it's going to turn the other way on them now, I'm afraid.
The Twitter meltdown
it could
is
go
loathing.
awfully smelly for them.
Yeah, you can see it already. The Twitter meltdown is well and truly loading. Gary, a lot of the blame is, well, I'd say that a lot of the blame, of course, is going towards GSB. Can you see West Ham fans really ramping up the force of whatever they want to do there, or do you reckon we're just gonna have to get on with it?
I don't think so at the moment, because we're still 5th in the league and we're still in Europe, we're still in the FA Cup. But if we start slipping down the table and losing a few players with injuries, and clubs like Villa and Everton and Newcastle that strength and start catching us up, then I think there's going to be an awful, terrible atmosphere start to develop. If we can stay 5th, nobody will complain. But if we start to lose a few games, Jake, then I think we're in trouble. And we've got some hard away games. We've got some really tough away games to finish the season. We've got to go to Spurs, we've got to go to Chelsea, we've got to go to Liverpool. And it's not going to be easy with this small squad. So, and to be honest, as Mike said, it leaves a bad impression on the players as well. I mean, if you're in that squad now, you're looking forward to sort of break, some strengthening. If you're Declan Rice or Jared Bowen, you're thinking, what's going on with this club? 60,000 a week, new investment, and nothing's coming in. I don't put the blame entirely on the board. I think Moyes has got something to answer for as well. He's had 3 windows now to get a striker in. I think he needs to explain himself there a little bit as well, to be honest.
Yeah,
definitely. They've got to come out and say something after this. If they don't if no one comes over the line in this next few hours, like I said, Gary, they've got to come out and say, otherwise fans are not going to take it well at all.
No, exactly.
Definitely. Right, let's bring Andy on. Andy, how are you?
Yeah, Andy.
Top of the world, gents. How you doing? I think it pretty much sums it up. Look.
Yeah, that does, mate.
We're the fools.
Yeah.
Andy, I'm going to let you let rip in just a second. I'm just going to take some comments first. David M says, if we could not get Nunes, then why can we focus on Caleta-Car for 2 extra million? I don't understand it. Caleta-Car, I think it's just down to the fact is that if we keep sticking by these loans, they keep sticking by the permanent deal. They want £15 million cold hard cash, and I think David Sullivan was worried that if we put £15 million on a table, that they'd accept it. And then, oh Christ, he spent £15 million. But David says, "What's Rob Newman doing now?" A lot of people are questioning Rob Newman. I don't think it's Rob Newman's job to buy players. I'm convinced that Rob Newman has scouted the correct players, and I mean you can see it already that we've been linked with better, and we've put bids in for better players. Whether that was down to Rob Newman, I don't know, but I don't blame Rob Newman here, because he's not the one who's got to put his hand in the pocket and put the bids in. I think he's done his job, Rob Newman, but I
don't know, Jake. You and I could put a bid in for Phillips and Rafinha at Leeds. I don't think that takes a lot of scouting.
Well, it's a good point, but this Darwin Nunes, this time yesterday, in a couple of hours, we'd never heard of the geezer, and now all of a sudden we're all experts on him. But Lauren says, once again, we have grabbed defeat from the jaws of victory. Bang on. We won't be a top 4 rival. We won't be. If we offer 50 million for 2 players, why can we not get the Caleta-Car deal done? Exactly. That's a very good point, Mandy. That's a very good point. Kieran, hope you are good. And Jake, as you know, I'm in 10 hours in the future, and we still haven't signed anyone. Cheers, Kieran.
You've got 3 hours.
Luke. Yeah, come on, 3 hours. Luke, hope you are well. Enjoy the Rice and Bone farewell tour that they are going to be gone in the summer. Heartbreaking, the lack of ambition. Let's scroll down. JC, hope you are keeping well, my friend. We'll never be competitive with this worn-out, thin squad. It's a shame, because if we start to fall down, Moyes and the players will face angry fans when it should be the owners. Laughing at our transfer strategy once again. Totally agree, Mike. Spot on. There we go. Frustrated like the rest of us. Definitely, JC. Plenty of comments coming in. I'm in disbelief we haven't strengthened, especially given our league position. It's just not good enough. Defender and striker was the bare minimum. Bang on. Kretinsky watching his money drain away. X has said West Ham not close to any signings on deadline. Yeah. A lot of criticism is going to land on Moyes, and rightly so, but I'm seeing quite a few fans looking to throw him out, which I think is a bit reactionary. Andy, I'm going to hand over to you firstly with that comment, and fire away, my friend.
You know me, Jake. I've been very positive through this window, and I think when when Mike's come on my channel as well, when you've come on, I was like, this winter break's come at the perfect time for us. We're going to have 10 days or whatever it is to get the players who we want. We haven't got to worry about them travelling the length. I know you've got Diaz and stuff, the South Americans way, and we've got Antonio, but nothing like major. So I was just like, yeah, we're definitely going to get some transfers over the line, and I think Dom summed it up pretty well on his tweet as well. He's been quiet all window, and the same as me. I know a few people have jumped the gun, but now I'm raging. I really am raging because I've sort of, I wouldn't say I've gave the ball credit, but we've been doing all the talking on the pitch. But this is 3 windows now without even getting a striker in. 3 windows, and I think that's when it's starting to hit home now. Brentford. No, Burnley, sorry. Chris Wood in. They've signed £12 million. Why ain't we all over that? I thought that would be a Sunday special. £12 million. £12 million. I'm not...
striker. How does this work? Just to cut in, Andy. How on earth does that work? Burnley have done it. They've got £25 million for Chris Wood. They've signed a better striker for £12 million. They're bored 11 life. They've got £13 million in the bank now, and they've got a better striker.
It's I don't know what to say, Jake, because Kalata can still get done. If everything else is done, like you said, apart from the medical, you can still get the paperwork done, and it'll be down to us if it isn't. But I think it's 1.2 million. They want 18 million pound of UK money, and we're offering 16.8. It's stupid, and it is. And like, I'm going to put 70% of the blame on the board. I'm gonna give 30% away to Moyes, because all I've heard after the international break, Moyes has still not decided his targets. We should have had our targets done before even the window opened.
Oh God, yes,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Like Origi, I can understand Origi. Like Origi wouldn't surprise me if it still happens, to be honest. But why didn't we go to Liverpool? All right, we'll pay £10 million, and they'll go, well, we're not going to let him leave until the international break, or the winter break, or whatever, because they've not got no Salah and Mane. We would have accepted that, wouldn't we? Really, because we've not really we've done maybe Leeds with the exception, but we've done okay-ish without that. Lingard, I'm not surprised about. It just proves we've said it that Man United have fallen, and the fact that they won't do it. But I'm more gutted for Jesse more than anything else. Yeah. Why didn't they let him go to Newcastle? I'm sorry if you've already said that, but no, I'm absolutely gutted. But I'm still feeling positive because it's just proves today with Dele Alli going to Everton. No one saw that happening, and look, that looks like that's pretty much done. So stuff can still happen, but if we get 1, it'll be amazing, and 2, I'll be shell shocked.
2 hours and 57 left remain of this transfer window. It's just that the Athletic and X are coming out saying, yeah, we've pretty much hung our boots up for this transfer window. Excuse the pun, but you know, X has said it would be very, very unlikely if we bring somebody in, but he did say things have happened later for West Ham in the last few years. Let's fire through these comments. Everyone has gone home. It's finished for the evening. Gary, hope you're well. Mr. Barlow, been needing a striker for far too long. Gobsmacked. 4 weeks of massive show bids with no substance. Pretty much, yeah. Great background, Andy. Lovely, jubbly. I understand was wanting a loan, an unproven Premier League player, but I do feel that Moyes has seen enough of Duge Kaleta over the past 2 years to make a call for himself. I agree. Surely Moyes isn't the one who turns down players to strengthen the squad. I can't see it. 4 weeks of silence, then 3 glory bids with no substance, no intention of signing any of them. Shameful behaviour again from the two Davids. Imagine trying to win the Europa League with Dawson and Diop as your centre backs.
I mean, Phillips, Jake. Phillips was a target, and he's gone to Bournemouth.
Yeah, I know. I said that to Gio earlier on, and you can pull your hair out of the fact we can all sit here and say, I'm sat in the bottom of my bedroom and I'm saying it. I'm sat here, and we should have been all over that. Yes, he might be Craig Dawson 2.0.
But do you know what I thought? I thought when that happened, I thought we were getting Lloyd Kelly now. When with him going to I thought Kelly's going
the other way.
Good point.
But no, that didn't happen.
That won't happen.
Do you know what? It really wouldn't surprise us if something does happen. But I'll put it to you. I was speaking to someone earlier. Apparently, Ross Barkley's been made available to us. I would take Ross Barkley now. I really would, as an extra body. We've got no one.
Something, just something. Mike, are you at the stage where that you just take anybody just for that little bit of sentimental value that we've actually bought?
The squad needs strengthening, Jake. Full stop. Yeah, you're right, Andy. In fact, Moyes must know a lot about Barkley, obviously. So, I'd take him. He's another body who can give us something, even if it's only to come off the bench. You know, it's another body, but we really do need the centre half and we need a striker. So we're just desperate for those two positions in my mind, because, I can honestly see us slipping down. I hope we don't. We're still in a good position. That's why I'm so frustrated and disappointed, is that we're so close to it. You can feel it. It's there. And all we need to do is just get these couple of guys. Yeah, we can nearly grab it. I mean, we've got that close. But it should have been done before now. I know notoriously it always happens on the last day, but surely we could have got something sorted by now.
The Lingard one I can sort of make an exception for.
I understand that, Andy. Yeah.
The Lingard I can, but everyone else, like the striker's the one what really frustrates me the most.
Yeah.
Is because you've seen decent players move.
Yeah.
And
come and go. They just come and go, don't they?
Yeah.
Like I sort of get it, like Premier League proven, but sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna go.
Go on, Gary.
No, I agree with everything that Mike and Andy are saying. It's just so frustrating about the striker. I just can't believe that, if I was running a football club, you'd have a data bank of players you like and what their contract situation is and everything like that. And you wouldn't tap them up because it's not allowed, but you'd keep an eye on them all the time and make the bid early in the window. If we wanted this guy from Benfica, we should have inquired on January the 1st.
Yeah.
And then, by now it'll be done. No, we don't leave it till January the 30th and allegedly bid 50 million, which, to be honest with you, I'm very, very suspicious about these 50 million bids for Phillips and Rafinha and the guy from Benfica. It's very suspicious. I think it's just to appease the fans, I think, to be honest. I think it's just a poorly run club at the moment, and unfortunately, it always has been.
Yeah. Those two Leeds bids, that's rubbish, isn't it? I mean, that is an absolute joke. We're not getting either of them. We know that. And that's they're just saying, oh well, we tried. That's what we're going to get in it.
The one thing that just go on, Andy.
I was going to say I've said this all day. David Sullivan's going to be on TalkSport tomorrow for an hour with Jim White, giving a list of every single player they tried to sign, and
honestly,
because of COVID.
Andy, I do not want to think about that. I do not want to think.
It's happening. We tried. You're probably going to blame COVID, the pandemic. We're in more debt. We've got this. We've got that. And then he'll say, but it's all right. I've got my £30 million back from the club from the loan, but that's all that matters. I'm going to pay for my new private jet.
Mbappe was on the train to King's Cross, but unfortunately it broke down in Paris.
The train broke down. They ran out of petrol. But before we carry on, we've got 97 people watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you need. Check out channel sponsors SRM Carver and Sun by clicking the link in the description down below. And breathe. Right, let's fire through these comments. We've got about infinite number of comments. I'm not going to go through them all because we'll be here all night, but let's just take some of the best ones. The Watford game could get nasty if we go a goal down. What message does this send to Declan Rice? It's bang on. It's bang on. What does it send to Declan Rice? What a rubbish day, Tom. Indeed, not only have we signed nobody, we've we've effectively sold Rice and Bowen in the summer. Get rid of all of the backroom staff. The forward issue is not a new one. Moyes had time. Kazkar, West Ham, obviously unlikely at this stage. Marseille were trying to close the deal yesterday and believed the player was joining West Ham. Irons was seemingly unwilling to negotiate permanent transfer. We can bid 50. I mean, a silly bid that was never going to get accepted. But we could bid £50 million for Rafinha, but we can't get. We can't agree for a £15 million deal for a centre back. I just don't get it. Perhaps they was going to sell Rice and Phillips was his replacement. Steve, hope you are well. Dithering Dave always said he won't. Always said he won't sign unless they are better than what they've already got. Says it all. Yeah, Crosshammer, hope you well. Imagine being depressed before today and today happens. Can't be pretty. Lauren says something went terribly wrong when Bournemouth get Phillips. It's a total shambles. Yeah, so I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Let's scroll down. Phil Jones all the way. Phil Jones all the way. Luke says it's going to be 4 windows without a striker. We will slip down the league, in my opinion, which potentially leaves us with no Europe next year. David and Nesri, etc. Dream on. Darwin, Nunes. It's just. Sharky's in the building. Hope you well. Moyes just doesn't want most of the transfer targets, I believe. I'd take Defoe over what we've been linked with. Can see Moyes fuming after today, let alone Rice and Bone. Why would he want to invest in a club that won't back him? We don't invest. We don't get top 6. Bye Rice. Daniela, hope you are well. Look. Yes.
Look at him. Look.
Sorry.
Look at that face.
How on earth he's pulled that face?
It's more like stepped out, doesn't
he? Daniela says, look, yes, it was always going to be a quiet window. No one has any quality out there. Kaletzkar should have been done. Jesse is down to Man United. He did not want to go to Newcastle. Bang on. Let's scroll down right to the bottom. Seems other Premier League clubs are not selling to us. They're making it difficult.
So TalkSport have just released a statement from Dean Ashton. He's obviously live in the studio now, and obviously I've not listened to it because I'm on here. And the title is "Where's the Ambition? If you're elite and you have competitions for places." I feel like the board aren't willing to buy good, imprinting good competition. Dean Ashton feels West Ham United will regret not signing anyone in this window. Corey's going to get in trouble for saying that.
Tell you what, though, I know. If Sullivan goes on TalkSport at some point, I don't want to see Jim White on there. I want to see somebody like Dean Ashton. I want to see a former West Ham player. I want to see somebody on there that's going to go, no, not just take in all of his rubbish and what he's going to say. Somebody to come back on him and go, no. Hang on, we're not having any of that. But it won't happen. Smaller squad, extra competition this season, no signings, injuries. Lingard is a shame, but predictable and out of our hands. I don't want us buying players Moyes doesn't want. We've been doing that for years. Only buy people that can get into the starting 11. Well, Andy, Mike, you found out doing that strikers show for the last few weeks.
Should we do all defenders bought under David Gold and Sullivan? Mike? Should we do that? Should we do every position on the pitch?
Every position.
Relegation, Roger, Tal Ben Hayim.
Yeah, oh God.
Oh, dear.
Mate,
Sharky says, right. Oh. Sharky says Rice will likely go to Chelsea in the summer, and the club will say that they tried to keep him, but the player wanted to go. Those bids were smoke screens. Bang on. Don't know. Dan says, don't know why everyone's surprised. Keep the hope up all window, and it fails us on the last day of the window. Look at other clubs bringing strikers in already. Got other strikers in the squad, while West Ham haven't got an out-and-out striker. Antonio and Bowen are temporary strikers. Breed them all out like Stell does.
You look at Burnley, Jake. They've brought in Weghorst, right? They've already got 3 other strikers anyway. I mean, that's Burnley. Yeah. They've got, Vidra. I mean,
Rodriguez.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've got more strikers than we've got. And, they've got
the same amount of strikers as these people in the chat. We could make a West Ham.
Yeah.
79 people watching.
Front, mate. I've done
The bigger issue is, though, the lack of
Go on,
strategy,
Ange.
Jake, because when Rice goes in the summer, say we get, I don't know, 100 million for round numbers, we'll have 100 million to spend plus whatever else we got. Can you trust our board to spend it, or they'll be still sat around on August the 31st with 200 million in the bank, not buying anyone again? There should be a strategy. There's just nothing going on. That's what really upsets me. It's just the lack of transparency and understanding what we're trying to do. We have a scattergun approach for forwards anyway. There should be a certain type we're looking for, and we should go after that guy. As Andy said earlier, if we're 1.8 million short, just pay the money. Just pay the money and do it.
Should we set up a GoFundMe page?
Yeah. For the,
1.8
we'll end
million
up with an
pound
extra
collect.
18p, you know. But no, joking aside, why? Why can't they just push the boat out a little bit? You know, this guy that's come in, you know, what's he thinking? You know, he's come in to invest. And what's happening? I don't trust that. If we got 250 million, honestly, for Rice, I wouldn't trust them with that.
No.
I really wouldn't.
No.
Daniela says, Sharky, that all deepens if others come in for Rice. I can't see anyone giving us 100 million. They're going to wait till 2023 when we're going to lower his price. Buying crap will affect our financial fair play situation. That's a very good point as well, actually. But I think at this moment we can worry about that later. Can we just have a couple of bodies, please? Let's scroll down. Rice will go in the summer. Moyes is dithering. Don't believe this is the board. It's Moyes. Tough to keep Rice in the summer, indeed. Manu and Arsenal also have not bought anyone. Surely Moyes needs to answer some questions. I think we'd all just like, obviously not all of them to come together, but for a representative, even if it's that, so somebody just come out with a statement or an open forum so fans can put their point across. So it really gets
Diego Costa's a free agent still.
Yeah, even if he'd be someone else, wouldn't he? In the squad. I know he might want silly wages for what he is now, for what he's really worth now. But you know, we just got no backup. If there's too much pressure on these young lads to come in there, if we're just that injury away from a disaster, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But it's not so much that. Sorry, Jake. It's Zuma, yeah. Like I'm absolutely buzzing that Zuma's back playing football. Yeah. But all it takes is for one injury, just one.
Yeah.
Even to Diop or Dawson.
Yeah.
Then we're relying on that. That's
I know.
I don't want to go to that extreme. That's depressing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that really is.
Honestly, I've just had that vision of one of them going out injured, and it's just where we're back to.
And do you know when it will be? Do you know when it will be? It'll be like Europa League semi-final when we need to go and we can't even field a starting 11 out. We'll have no Antonio. You know it's going to happen. Or an important match, and we're going to have fucking effing no one.
No. Yeah. What will happen, Andy? We'll lose 2 players at Kidderminster. You watch.
Yeah. And it'll be two. It'll be Rice and Souček, both of them, and then we'll have Noble and Krau for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he'll go Noble and Kevin Nolan will slot into the midfield because he don't like playing Crow at all. He just don't want to play him. Tom G says, I don't trust Moyes with science. Kretinsky has to agree with everything now. I believe it's Moyes not wanting certain players. This is exactly what GSP want. Blame deflected. They are licking their lips at Bowen and Rice being sold in the summer. One last payday to line the pockets before they sell up. What actually does Rob Newman do then? Now, this has come up quite a lot, and I mentioned it earlier on. I think Rob Newman's done his job, but it's just Rob Newman's not the one that puts
the players, hasn't
he? You know, he scouts players for David Moyes, but Rob Newman isn't the one that puts his hand in the pocket and puts his hand in his pocket and buys the players. A lot of the transfers today do seem to be panic buys. Where you look at Dele Alli to Everton. I mean, we need clarity. We do indeed. Newcastle could spend 200 million in this window and 800 million over the next 4 years and stay within financial fair play. I don't understand them rules. Is Kaleta still coming, or is that not happening? My guess is as good as yours, but we very much doubt it at this stage. But we might get to see Oko Flex.
But it's not so much that though. It's Adebayo. Like Ken, I've been watching Luton as well because my mate's a Luton season ticket. I guarantee if we offered £10 million, even now, we would get him.
Yeah.
He's proven it in the Championship as well. I'm not saying we're going to get Mitrovic, or I'm just giving him as an example, or Diaz, who are smashing it. But a young player who's the mould of Antonio, so we haven't got to do an experiment. You chuck him in and he'll do a job. I just don't understand it.
Bang on.
Exactly.
83 people watching. I can guarantee all of you are not subscribed. You just there. Subscribe to the channel.
If not, I'm going to get Sullivan to just do that face for the rest of your life.
Subscribe to the channel. Check out Andy on West Ham Reunited as well, and all of that jazz. Origi available and yet nothing. Yeah, I've mentioned him all the time. It's Origi. Plenty of new names in the chat tonight. As I said, subscribe to the channel. Send an invoice for the hours we've all spent in the past 6 weeks checking on transfer activity. Honestly, since 4 o'clock when I got home, I've been refreshing Twitter. Bam. Nothing. For the past 6 weeks checking on transfer activity. Send it to Sullivan and Gold. Total owed us would likely have been West Ham, Mbappe or Haaland. We have not come. Oh, here we go. Breaking news. Messi seen in the Gregs at Westfield. Breaking news. Deal done, and here we go. I'm only joking.
He likes a sausage and bean melt.
Yeah, definitely.
But you've just had a look at another one, for example, Keane Lewis Potter. Seen him. I'm not saying he's like prolific and do an option. Like we've Bowen knows him as well. Just a youngster who knows where the goal is. Like we haven't got no option.
Exactly.
I thought that might be on if the rumours were right that Ashby was going to go out there on loan.
Yeah.
So if that I thought, well, that might still happen then. If he goes that way, we might get someone the other way. And obviously, he's the guy we've all been talking about for the last couple of months. So, yeah. But hey, if we're going to do that, it should have been done weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I still think we'll get one person in before 11. I'm confident we'll get one in.
Well,
I'll tell you what.
I think they got to, because I don't think the board really want what's coming to them if they don't.
No, exactly.
No, but they can though, Mike. They've got a safe entry into the stadium, all secure and police escort in.
Yeah.
We can't get anywhere near them in the stadium anymore. They've probably got high security. The training ground is secure as well, all of them, and their homes they've probably had. During lockdown, the walls are probably twice as high, so they're safe. All they can stay out. We're not. What harm are we going to do to them? Nothing.
Just burn down all the Ann Summers
shops. But now, oh my God! But now they are going to go into hiding now, unless Sullivan wants to come out and do his interview. I can guarantee you, Sullivan and Gold will now go into hiding for at least 2 months. You won't hear from them at all. No interviews on the Blowing Bubbles magazine. You won't see any of it at all, because Newcastle have been run properly. They have made profit for years. I can guarantee you, breaking news, we are nearly at the bottom of these comments. Thank God. But it's brilliant. Keep them coming in. Alan says it's very publicly shows how little ambition our board has. Players like Rice and Burn will want to leave. If this is the type of club we are. Can you take a photo of that? Can you take that horrible photo of Sullivan off? It's making me vomit. Well, not unless we sign a player, Dean. Not unless we sign a player. Oh dear. Let's scroll down. Oh,
no, I'm tickling his chin. Look, he likes that. Look.
I should poke him in the eye.
Bam. Lawrence, always look on the bright side, guys. We try. Honestly, there will be rants everywhere tonight, and everybody get your popcorn, because I'm sure Nicky is getting himself pumped up. Nicky's getting himself ready for his rant at whenever West Ham Fan TV go on later on.
9 o'clock, mate. I'm going on there as well. For
9 o'clock. There we go. So Andy's going to see it firsthand.
I've got my earplugs.
You got your earplugs. Oh dear. Anna says, I only blame Moyes for being a yes man, but GSB need to go now. I think the board attitude is, even when spending money, that we won't be able to get that far in the rest of the season, and why bother? They want to sell at the end of this. Yeah. Charlie, hope you're well. He says I'd rather go to the Greggs in the Stratford Centre way quicker to sell. A poor decision from Lloyd's. Wow. There you go. There you go. Let's scroll down. God, we're nearly at the bottom of the comments. I respect it, Roger. What's the order? Oh, honestly, the food just brightens things up, Charlie. I like it. Mr. Driscoll says Dean Jones just said Coletta Carr was not dead. Yeah. God knows. Jake always pays. I'll tell you what, when we went to the Leeds game, they had some banging little southern fried chicken, spicy, like chicken nugget things. They were banging. Paul says, good show, and a sunny, cold hello from SWRC. There we go. We are global again. Noble and Declan Rice contacted Moyes about the lack of transfers. Got that.
Yeah, but your dad made a good point though, Jake. What if you could pick one player to sign? If you had to pick one, who would it be?
Wow.
Who would it be? If you could pick one, Jake.
Let's roll that voice out.
Me.
There we go. If the panel could pick one player to sign, Gary first.
Origi or someone else from Cavani from Man United, something like that. Someone else.
Cavani.
Well,
Mike.
Me, I'd like someone like Ollie Watkins or Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, should we go a bit more realistic?
We'll say Ollie Watkins.
I like it. No, I like it. I'm going to go Origi. Origi or Coletta Carr. We need. I don't know.
Andy? Any forward.
Oh, yeah, just anybody. Andy.
I don't understand, because there was rumours at the link at the summer. I think because of the French lack of money, I would have went for Moussa Dembele from Lyon.
Yeah, because I think X just put on Twitter as well that we were offered him.
Yeah, we were offered him as well. Yeah. I just don't understand. We've been offered players as well. It's just stubbornness. Like what? Because someone else has suggested it. Like at the end of the day, January's a tough month as it is. Like I'm not saying it. Like Antonio's still playing one game before he comes back to us. One more game. Yeah. What if he pulls up? Our season's ruined. Our season is ruined. It is if a striker doesn't come in.
Breaking news. We have got into triple figures watching. We've got 102 people watching. Thank you very much, everybody, for getting involved in the chat tonight. That is fantastic. 102 people watching, and these comments keep on coming. Honestly, I know what it's like for like Charlie and everybody with all these comments. Honestly, it's mad. They just keep on coming. It's brilliant. I got that YouTube Abrev now. Correct. Exactly. You know, Charlie. You know, if we don't sign a striker this season, we'll pit it out to mediocrity. So we're going Coletta Carr, Origi or Patrick Schick. Hugo's coming home. Charlie would like nothing less than Hugo coming home. What we have Yarmolenko and Masuaku and Fredericks don't need anyone else. Nah, we're fine, Hammer, aren't we? We're fine. West Ham's move for Darwin Núñez is off. Apparently, it looks like it. See, here we go. He comes in. He just does everything. Superb, Charlie. Superb. Right. Anything else anybody would like to discuss? I'm going to be on the network at 10 to 9, and then I'll be joining Charlie, Joe and Gonzo at 9:15 on Hammer's Chat. Plenty of stuff to do when there's not a lot to talk about.
I just hope we get one over the line at least. Like it just needs to be a confidence boost. Like you said, especially for Declan and people like that. If we're walking into training tomorrow and there's no one there, it's just going to be damaging.
I agree. The board are not stupid. They know the fans will be seriously hacked off if they don't get somebody in. So I think they'll get one person. It might even be announced after the deadline. You know, sometimes they do that, don't they? But
don't go to bed, DG.
DG.
Yeah, but we haven't heard that tweet yet, have we? I mean, joking aside, it could happen. You know, it's after we've all gone to bed. But you know, I'm honestly very, very disappointed if we don't get someone. Yeah, and the strikers
Honestly,
Definitely
if nothing else happens, David Gold either tweets "Don't go to bed, DG" or "Go to bed, DG." I'm going to laugh for the rest of this night. I'm going to cry with laughter. 'Cause that's
Apparently,
exactly
I don't know
what
whether
we
someone
do.
put this in the comment before we go. Both Declan Rice and Noble have attempted to contact David Moyes and the board at West Ham in the last hour, according to sources. Both players are unhappy with the lack of business and trying to push the ball to sort it out before the deadline.
Somebody
Yeah, but they know
put
what the
that in the
fans are
chat just a
feeling.
minute ago.
They're fans as well.
Yeah.
And I think they are, full stop. And they know what we're feeling. And they're feeling the same.
Yeah, fully agree.
You know what? Mark Noble probably got absolutely for what he said about Dean Garner. But West Ham fans wouldn't love anything else for him to come on Twitter tonight and say something similar about that. Could you imagine the scenes? Could you imagine the scenes? Charlie says, top tip, Jay, do what I do and only pull up the comments about food. Streamlines the process. There we go. Thank you very much, Charlie. Thank you very much. Is Samasi Abu available, Andy? Out of everyone that is rumoured, who would you want the most? I think the whole vibe is Origi, Kaletakar, these kind of players.
All right then. If we had to sign Benny McCarthy or Mido to save our season, which one of you are you picking?
Gary, to you first.
I'll go for Benny McCarthy because he's back.
Mido.
Oh, God, mate.
Mike?
Oh, either of them. Oh, poor mate.
Or Zaza.
Oh,
Zaza.
Or Jonathan Caleri.
Oh,
Mike Newell.
Jonathan Caleri.
Who's that one, Gary?
Mike Newell. Before your time.
Mike Newell. Yeah.
He was terrible. He couldn't move.
I've got another one even before Gary's time. John Radford.
John Radford, yeah.
Oh, God.
I read about him, Mike, in the history books.
Mate, honestly, he was a good player for Arsenal. He come to us and he couldn't hit Paul's arse with a shovel. I mean, he was terrible.
Honestly, if we don't laugh, we'll cry.
Oh.
I'm just trying to bring the mood a bit better.
Well, exactly. Just take your mind off it for a bit. Max says if we don't bring in anybody, we're a disgrace. The other problem we face is if even if we get someone in, it's a sham and a disgrace. We are going to lose Roycebo and Zuma, and you can't blame them back to fighting relegation next season. Not quite. I don't think
it's that bad. I think that's a bit of overreaction, a little bit. But I can understand the comments like that because we're all feeling the same. We're just feeling frustrated and disappointed. And but what really gets me is the chance that we're so close to just making that step into the next level. And all they got to do is get their hands in their bleeding pockets and buy a couple of decent players. That's all we're asking for. I mean, we were saying we need 3, 4, whatever in the summer, but we need 2 now, at least.
Bang on. Pep by 10, wake up, we have 4 new signings.
Imagine.
Get to bed, Richard, now.
Yeah, go to bed now. Just go. Wait up. Just go. Sam says typical David Golden. David Sullivan won't put in a concrete offer. Always a loan with an option to buy.
The cheapskate way.
Yeah,
for sure. Montana guy says followed Moyes' era at Everton. He bought well efficiently until the owner got skint. Then the owner spread dithering Dave myth. Even then, Moyes found relative bargain buys like Jermaine Beckford and Coleman. There we go. Bring in Rob Newman doesn't seem to have improved our ability to get deals done. That's a very good point.
He's on furlough.
I see, put that on Twitter. He's on furlough. Ronnie says embarrassment, don't deserve to keep good players or sign them. Who would want to come with no ambition? Carlton Co having a medical deal done, and here we go.
Carlton Co.
Always believe in your soul.
You got the power to
indestructible. Moyes said he wanted 5 players, but he hasn't even got us 1. Well, there you go. Andy, in your next show, can you do a mark out of 10 of the strikers we didn't sign?
I thought, oh, Christ.
Ones we linked with.
No, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to do. We'll start off with a favourite position. We're going to do left backs signed on the day. So we'll have Razram Rat, George McCarthy, Arthur Masuaku. We'll do them as a ratings. That'll be fun.
I used to like George McCarthy, actually.
I used to like doing McCarthy,
Yeah.
Matt
Lyndon was
says,
alright.
I would bring in David Speed and Lee Chapman. Danny says, no one to blame but the board. Newman identified, Moyes said bids for them, and Sully messed around with unrealistic bids. That's probably the truth, to be honest with you, Danny.
Yeah.
Will we get a late twist with an injured Origi? Will there be a late twist and turn in this very non-eventful deadline day? Let's wait and see. Apparently, Ekitike took one look around Newcastle and got on the first plane back to France. Yeah, there was talks earlier on today that he could be getting the next flight over to Newcastle, but and then again that didn't happen. We didn't make any further.
It's not exactly far either, is it?
I know, exactly. Steve says 2 players would be in the long run make the corrupt owners of West Ham many millions more. Not just corrupt, incompetent and farcical as well. John says it's only it's not only the fans who will be gutted about this window. What message does that send to the players? And it'll be interesting if anything's followed up about what and how Declan Rice and Martin Noble went about saying, hang on, for goodness sake, this is a pee take here. But any other subjects and thoughts you'd like to say before we go into final thoughts and then wrap things up?
No, I think we've tried to make humour out of the worst day of probably. This is probably our worst window in 12 years. That just proves that even in relegation zone, we managed to sign some players and we've not signed a single person.
Exactly. I mean, in relegation, when we've been in the relegation zone, we've made good signings, to be fair, in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a chance, I keep saying it, but I mean, they're going to come out and probably say, oh, well, it was a good window because we didn't lose Rice and Bowen. But that's a load of, I was nearly going to swear there, Jake. No.
I half swore earlier. I felt bad. I was like, oops.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. We've got a bit of a poem from Mandy. Ready? Strikers always hiding. Moyes looked everywhere.
Moyes looked everywhere.
Here we go. Moyes looked everywhere. I'm forever seeing. Where is it? Oh no, they've all skipped. I'm forever seeing fake bids. Is there another one? And then Dave looked everywhere. And they fade and die. So you're a poet and you don't know it, lads in the chat. And lasses, Mandy. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. The only latest twist with Origi is his knee. I'll tell you what, there was not far they could. A transfer could be done in 2 hours. They could be doing this, but I very much highly doubt it.
David Gold would probably charge the club for his private helicopter if he had to get and fly up to Liverpool.
Oh, I know.
Charge
Some
the
good
club.
news in this report are the club's lack of ambition showed in this window will in the summer cost us Masuaku. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Right, final comment. Mr. says there's always a late twist South American loan for someone we've never heard of, who we've been chasing all window. I hope there's a late twist. I don't care what it is. I hope we sign somebody. Well, I do care who it is, but just something to grasp onto. Something to grasp onto.
Definitely.
Yeah, we need something.
Scott, hope you are well.
Do you like his new Cannington lane? Look, it looks good, doesn't it?
Very smart, mate. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Very
enjoy
good.
your
You never
birthday,
know.
Scott.
We might get Ronaldo on loan.
But the fat Ronaldo, the fat Brazilian Ronaldo.
No one is coming. Go to bed, SV.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Right. Yeah, you probably are, to be honest. Mandy says there is
the nail on the head there, mate.
There is a rumor about Origi, but I guess that's the only story available now. Absolute joke. I'm going to be fuming when the window closes. It's the hope that kills you. Definitely. Happy birthday, Scott. Hope you had a nice day. I'll tell you what, you'll be proud of this, Scott. I made a chicken Valentine today at school. So basically, it's chicken with cream cheese on the top, wrapped in bacon, and I made the mashed potato and proper job. It's lovely.
Sounds good, mate.
It was lovely.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. See, talk about food. Talk about food. Sorry, Gary, what was that?
It sounded nice, mate.
Yeah, it was. It was. I'll tell you what, it was gone in 5 minutes. Kent says, I'm unbelievably frustrated, hurt, fuming that we could have had a historical season and now we've got to watch mid-table media.
Yeah, Kent's
That's
knocked
what
it
I
on the
worry
head
about
as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Slided down a few places.
Yeah. Manti says Dharmesh Seth told to expect Divock Origi twist amid West Ham transfer speculation. Don't go to bed. Don't go to bed.
Don't go to
Man,
bed,
he's trying to give
Dio.
us hope.
Don't go
She's
to
trying
bed,
to give us
Dio.
Yeah.
It's good that
Yeah.
Liverpool don't see it. Liverpool don't see it as a top 4 rival at all. Then they'll sell it.
Oh no, definitely not.
No, but
Definitely not.
Divock
Don't
Origi's
go to
going to
bed.
tweet that don't go to bed, Dio.
Oh my god. Daniel says, what does Kretinsky think of having invested a large sum of money? The level of crikey, that's a complex word. Something would worry me if I were him, definitely.
Ineptitude.
There we go. Messi team checking in at Stratford Premier Inn. Lovely stuff. Yes, Shaker, good. Good on you, mate. A Valentine's special. Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Hey.
Hey, something we don't know.
No. Right, final thoughts. Mike, to you first. Final thoughts as this transfer window and a deadline day disaster draws to a close.
Well, I'll wake up in the morning, Jake, and because I'm not going to wait up.
You're going to bed. You're going to bed.
I'm going to go to bed at 5 past.
I'm going to go to bed
and
and hate.
And I just hope I wake up.
Should we all tweet when we're going to go to bed and do our initials?
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Everyone in the chat just do it as well and like tag it in like don't go to bed and see how many we get.
And I just
Go on,
hope
Mike.
something is it's going to give us a little bit of a lift. But I'm not old, wee breath.
Here we go. Here we go. Tag West Ham unofficial in and hashtag I'm going to bed, and we'll see how many we'll do with your initials and see how many we get tonight.
Gary, final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me again. Like Mike, I'm turning the TV off after this. I'm going to watch Ozark with my wife, and then hopefully in the morning, let's make sure it's okay.
Yeah, don't go to bed. SV. Andy Miles, final thoughts.
That's actually gave me like the comment about Origi. Like I said before, even Mandy said that. I had that funny feeling that something, mate, like you said, the board have got to react, and that could be done. And I'm still reckon we're going to get 2 in. I reckon Kalaktakar and Origi. I said it on Friday.
Andy, we've got an hour and a half to go.
I said it on West Ham Network on Friday that we're going to get 3 because I thought Lingard will touch. Obviously, that's gone. So if I get the 2 out of the 3, I'll be happy.
That'd be amazing.
I'm going to bed, and it's 20-2. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
1:40 a.m. Deary me. But we've had record numbers in this show tonight. Thank you everybody for watching in the chat, getting your comments in. Honestly, the amount of comments
and
I've got
hashtag
tonight.
I'm going to bed and West Ham unofficial and your initials get it trending on Twitter.
Hashtag I'm going to bed. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to West Ham Official. Check out our channel sponsors SRM Carver and Sun by clicking the link in the description down below. And breathe. Thank you very much to my guests tonight. Oh, go on, Andy.
He's thinking
Origi,
maybe. Kalaktakar, maybe.
Thank you for the comment. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Mike, a huge thank you to Gary, a huge thank you to Mr. Andy Miles, as always. Come on, you minds. We've had a laugh tonight. We've seen the bright side of it because otherwise we'll cry. And
don't go to bed. Don't go to bed, AM.
Here we go. Right, ready. We're going to do this in synchronization. I'm just going to end it. Ready? Don't go to bed. DG. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Don't go to bed. DG.